I used to spend every Sunday night fixing the rosters, not just checking it, but fixing it. Staff calling out, the shifts were uncovered, the participants were unnotified, and me, well, I was sitting there at 10 p.m. manually working through all of it. That was just Sunday. Monday wasn't much better. Hey guys, it's Camille DG here, veteran nurse with over 20,000 hours in the field and one of the only people in this space actually educating NDIS providers on how to use AI to run their businesses. And in this video, I want to talk about what I genuinely believe is the single biggest time drain in any NDIS provider business: rostering. Not just how bad it gets, but why it's structurally broken, why the tools you're already using aren't fixing it, and exactly what changed when I finally handed it to AI. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why rostering eats the week it does, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. So let's start with the why. Because most providers think rostering is hard because their team is disorganized, or they haven't found the right software yet, or they just haven't built a good enough process. And you know what? I thought that too. But hey, here's the thing. Rostering in the NDIS isn't hard because of how you're doing it. It's hard because of what it is. Think about what actually goes into NDIS rostering. So you've got the participants, right? They've all got specific needs. Everyone's got specific funding, specific worker preferences. You've also got the staff certifications. They've got different availability windows, different places where they live, locations, and you've got NDIS compliance rules that layers all over the top of that. And every single time something changes, like a staff call out, a participant cancellation, or a shift swap, all of those variables have to be checked again manually. That's not a workflow problem, guys. That is a complexity problem. And complexity doesn't get solved by working harder. It doesn't even get solved by a spreadsheet with better color coding. It gets solved by removing the human input from it entirely. And that's the shift most providers haven't made yet. So I'm going to give you guys a real life example of what this actually looked like for me when I was running my NDIS business. I honestly thought I had rostering under control. I had a full system. I had it all organized, or I thought I did anyway. I had the spreadsheets, the group chats, my own process. I thought I had cracked it. And then Monday morning would hit, a staff member calls in sick. Now I've got to find a replacement, of course, but not just anyone. It's someone with the right certifications for that participant, available at that time and around that location, preferably someone the participant already knows and likes. So of course I'm calling everyone. I'm texting everyone. I'm going through the list in my head. Meanwhile, the participant support coordinator is ringing me, asking me, hey, Cam, what's happening? So I'm trying to manage both. By the time I find someone, confirm them, update the schedule, notify the participant and their family, the coordinator, that's more than an hour gone for one shift. And that wasn't a bad week. That was actually a normal one. So here's what it added up to. I actually tracked it once. It was more than 10 hours a week. And that's every week. That's just on rostering. That wasn't even care coordination, not growing the business, not strategy. That was simply just managing the damn roster. And here's the part that really got me. I thought that it was just what it is. I genuinely believe that it's the cost of running an NDIS provider business. It's just part of the job, until it wasn't. Now, I know most of you are already using software, right? It could be ShiftCare, Lumery, MYP, FlowLogic. There's a few solid tools out there, and they really have genuinely moved the industry forward. I'm not here to bag anybody out, but I want to be honest with you about something. So those systems were built to organize rostering, not to run it. And they still rely on you or someone in your team to input the data, to confirm the changes, flag the issues, fix the problems when they come up. And when something breaks, which it always does, someone still has to step in there and sort it out manually. So what happens? You hire a full admin team, or you add this person to manage the system. And now you've added overhead to manage the tool that you've already bought to reduce the overheads. These are non-billable hours. Think about that for a second, you guys. It's not the software is bad. It's that it's in the wrong category. Management software moves the complexity around. It doesn't remove it. So you're still the one carrying it. You've just got a better filing system for it. And in the NDIS right now, with all these funding changes, everything's tighter and the environment's harder than it's ever been. Moving complexity around isn't good. So here's where it gets real. When I started using AI for rostering, and I mean genuinely autonomous AI, not just a smarter spreadsheet, the thing that struck me wasn't that it was faster. It was that it thought about all the variables at once. I'm talking the participant needs, the worker availability, the certifications, the locations for everyone, compliance requirements, all of it simultaneously, not sequentially like a human working through a checklist, one item at a time. I'm talking simultaneously every time. So when a sick call happens at 6 a.m., instead of me spending an hour on the phone, the system already knows who can cover it. Not just who's available, but who's compliant, who the participant knows, what makes geographic sense, and it surfaces the best options automatically. So what used to take me hours, it was done in minutes, not because someone worked faster, but because the complexity is being managed by something that never gets tired. It doesn't miss variables and it doesn't need to be chased for an update. There's no input, there's no more guessing, there's no more chasing staff, calling, texting. That's not a better version of what you're already doing. That's a completely different category altogether. And you hear that? The ones who understand the difference, that this isn't about upgrading your software, it's about changing the category. Those are the providers who are going to run lean while everyone else is still hiring more admin staff to manage the chaos. So that's exactly why we built Spacea Shift. Not because I studied this problem from the outside, but because I actually lived it. I ran an NDIS provider business myself. I tracked these hours. I felt the actual cost, and I'm not talking just in the money, but in the headspace, in the stress, in those Sunday nights that I'll never get back. So I helped build this tool that I genuinely wish I had. And here's the reality. If you are still spending 10 plus hours a week on rostering, it's not just a time problem, that's a margin problem. That's a growth problem, because that's 10 hours every single week that isn't going towards your participants, your team, or building something that actually scales. And if you're spending Sunday nights fixing rosters, if your Monday mornings start with, sick calls and chaos, if you've tried the other softwares and you're still stuck in the same loop, I genuinely want to show you what this looks like in practice. So copy the link in the description, paste it in your browser, and see if you qualify for our free 14-day trial with full human support the whole way through. Hey, you might even get me on the call, and we'll walk through your actual roster setup, show you exactly what the AI handles, and you'll see pretty quickly why providers who make this switch, they don't go back. And if you're watching this and rostering is already your biggest headache, drop a comment below. Tell me, what do your worst moments look like? I read every single comment, you guys. No fluff, no BS, just real answers. And if this made sense to you, share it with another provider who needs to hear this, because the more of us that make this shift, the stronger the whole sector gets. Till the next video, guys. See you later.